So we can see that they just don't want this sheriff to investigate, arrest illegal aliens. That's the bottom line. They're bringing politics into it, as evidenced by members of Congress going to Janet Napolitano, Attorney General Holder, to have me investigated for alleged racial profiling. You have Congress just today, the congresswomen from other areas wrote to Obama begging him not to get rid of the 287G. You had the local congressman that I just found out going through all the demonstrators, handing out letters to Washington. Even Pastor has joined the fight. So you got Mary Rose Wilcox, the mayor, 4 congressmen in Washington, Judiciary Committee, Conyers, going to Washington to do everything in their power to keep me from enforcing the illegal immigration laws. And I don't like to get into politics. They all happen to be Democrats. So we know what's going on. They don't want me to do the job. But I got news for all of these critics, all of these politicians, because I'm going to continue to do everything I've been doing. Nothing changes. In fact, it's going to be easier not being under the control and handcuffed by the federal government and all their Mickey Mouse bureaucracies and policies. So I am free of the federal government, and I will now continue to concentrate as the elected sheriff of this county and arrest those people that are here in this county illegally. So nothing changes. I want to keep the jail program because that is very successful. Because as the county attorney knows, when you keep 30,000 people in jail, they cannot hit the streets. That's why crime is down in this county. 30,000 unable to get back on the streets. So I'm going to keep the jail unless this Board of Supervisors technically, and I'm a little concerned whether they really have to do it, have to approve that contract tomorrow. It's very interesting that all this thing came to a head at the midnight hour, isn't it? That they finally made a decision 2 weeks ago. I signed it. They cut it up, knowing that the deadline is October 15th. They have said if that contract is not approved by the 15th, it goes away. So we'll see what that Board of Supervisors does tomorrow. If they sign it or don't sign it. If they don't sign it, there'll be no more illegals held in the jail on the 287G program. So the ball is in their political court. I'm sure that the county attorney and I will not get any Christmas cards from the Board of Supervisors. But they better forget all the politics and do what's right for this county and the people of Maricopa County. You got anything?
Thank you, Sheriff. My comments will be brief. Today is very disappointing for those of us who have been in the trenches fighting illegal immigration. When I took office in 2005, I had run successfully for county attorney in my first term in the effort to stop illegal immigration. I had run on that platform. And we have accomplished a number of important things that have contributed to a reported 30% drop in the illegal immigrant population in Arizona. We got the human smuggling law passed in 2005. I subsequently gave the sheriff a legal opinion saying that co-conspirators could be arrested, legal immigrants who conspire with smugglers. We got Prop 100 passed by the voters in 2006, ending the right to bail for illegal immigrants accused of serious felonies. We got the employer sanctions law passed in 2007, and we have been fully enforcing those laws. And the sheriff has been very courageous in his leadership in all of those efforts. Today, unfortunately, the empire struck back, and we have suffered a setback in the fight against illegal immigration because of Washington politics. That is the reality. But the fight goes on, and the sheriff and I have spoken about this, and we are committed to continuing this effort under state law. We will not be deterred at all, and we will continue to do everything we can within our powers to make sure that the fight against illegal immigration continues. Thank you.
Eric, you want to say anything about the Justice Department?
Sure.
Eric represents us on a frivolous lawsuit, I call it, all geared to this
Which
whole
one?
situation.
We got a number of them.
Thank you, Sheriff. As many of you know, the Department of Justice initiated an investigation in March of 2009 to determine if there were certain police practices that were not being followed properly by the Sheriff's Office. The investigation had nothing to do with, and still to this day, has nothing to do with the 287G program. The Sheriff's Office remains very interested in working with the Department of Homeland Security, as it has done very successfully since 2007, when the first 287G contract was initiated. The Sheriff obviously has concerns to ensure that all Arizonans enjoy full protections of the local, state, and the federal laws. The Sheriff's Office, however, is deeply concerned that the Department of Homeland Security is being played by the current Obama administration. And as soon as the Sheriff, as he mentioned, signed the 287G contract, the Memorandum of Agreement, that was revised in July of 2009, they only presented it to the Sheriff in September of 2009. Then, as the Sheriff explained to you, they wanted to revise it again and take away further of the Sheriff's powers under the 287G contract, primarily the power to enforce illegal immigration in the field and leave only enforcement in the detention center and the jails. What's interesting, and as the Sheriff mentioned, and I think what so highlights the fact that this is Washington politics at its worst, is that, as the Sheriff mentioned, many months ago, we have requested that the Department of Homeland Security provide us with the 2008 audit of how this 287G program has been going. They've delayed it. They've not provided it. And we've got it now. And the audit wasn't produced for good reason. And that reason is because the Sheriff's Office got an A+ on its compliance with the Memorandum of Agreement, with the training and the enforcement of the 287G program as administered by ICE. And it is politics that did not allow that audit to be released to the public. And now, without any evidence that the Sheriff has done anything, and in fact, the quote is, communication and working relations with ICE are excellent. That's what they said. The ICE supervisors considered the conduct and the performance of the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office under the 287G program and the officers to be professional and meeting the requirements of the Memorandum of Agreement. The performance of the Sheriff's Office task force officers was described as very good. There was not one alleged deficiency at all in the audit conducted by the Department of Homeland Security. The Sheriff's Office is committed to using the full extent of its authority to enforce the laws on behalf of the citizens of Arizona, and we stand beside him ready to do just that. Thank you.